This is Susan of Solaris Modalis. Today what I'd like to do is discuss with you a sky photo, and specifically this photo from Q. When this photo came out on June 12th, I took a copy of it and I analyzed it in depth. So I've known that I would make this video for about 6 weeks now. I knew that this would be a video for an audience that may or may not usually look at my work. What I write on is sky phenomena, and I analyze photographs of the sky and talking about the phenomena that I see that are present there. And there are phenomena in this photograph, and I'm going to address that. And I'm also going to address in this video what happened, what fired the missile, where was it fired from. Certain events were not supposed to take place. So Q often writes that this is not a game. Yeah, it's serious. I usually try to present my videos with a bit of lightness to them, so I'm a little nervous because I'll just say that because I don't know. I just am. I just am. But I'm happy to participate. You know, I see something in these photos and I feel called to share it with you guys, and so that's what I'm going to do. The source of these photos is, of course, QAnon.pub and SkunkBayWeather blog. This gentleman runs an award-winning blog and published these photos on June 11th, and Q published them at QAnon.pub on June 12th. Look at the Q post 1476. There was a related post up here in 1479, and Q says some areas we cannot expand on. Well, I'm going to expand on that now. And I'm going to show you what I see in this photo. So let's first talk about the missile. What fired the missile? A version of a Bell UFO fired this missile. I'm going to show you where it is in this photo from QAnon's site. See this space right here? That is where this was fired from, okay? How was it fired? It was fired from the air. This wasn't fired from the water or the sea. It was fired from this space right here, okay? And I'm also going to show you photographic evidence that, to me, confirms that. Now, before we look at this, I want to show you what this area looks like, because when this was taken, it was very fogged in. There was a lot of clouds in the sky. So you can't really tell at first look how high these hills go. So that was a big question I had when I looked at this. Here is a photo of the same area from the Skunk Bay blog on a completely different day, completely different year. But what this photo shows is, besides a beautiful aurora, it shows that the hills only extend up this far, okay? So all of this is sky up here. The hill only extends this far. Now the top is covered in the photo we were looking at. The hill only goes up to about there, okay? So all of this is actually sky that we're looking at, okay? So there's no hills behind these clouds, nothing. This is open air. The missile was fired from here. What this is this is the trail of the missile going up. This is the discharge of the missile going down. Okay, it was not, you can see here, there's nothing. There's nothing here. There's no trail, there's nothing. Now this is a time-lapse, 20-second time-lapse photo. Okay, I'm going to show you why I feel that this is a UFO. Okay, all right, let's take a look. So what I do, just as an overview, is I adjust the light in a photograph, and then I will adjust the colors in a photograph to see what I can see from doing that. So I'm going to go down to here. Okay, now in this photograph, I've significantly adjusted the lighting and the colors, because what I'm trying to do is highlight this area that I pointed to. In the original photograph, it looks somewhat roundish, and I thought that I wanted to zero in on that. So I created some edits. Now, none of the objects change, only the light in the photograph that's showing and only the colors. Now check this out, okay? What you see here is a perfect round circle, okay? You see a flare coming out that's bright red, super hot, right? You see a puff of smoke, and then poof, the trail of the missile. Now, I'm going to apologize to everyone, especially if you're a military person right now, because I do not know the terminology that you guys would use for this. So I'm just going to say what I see to the best of my ability. All right, so what I see here is that this is where the missile was fired from, because here's where you have the backfire, okay, and then it goes up. It goes up in a puff of smoke, and then it starts traveling. This is a perfectly round object. This is not usual to see something perfectly round in the sky like that. That's most likely man-made. I am not talking about anything extraterrestrial here. I just want to get that clear. I'm talking about something made by human beings that we cannot see with our eyes, but we can see the evidence of it. And I do a lot of writing on cloaking technology and cloaked craft in the sky. So this is an area of expertise of mine. And I'll talk to you about that a little later, because I figured you guys would want me to get right to it. Okay, now here's another light adjusted photograph. Right here is the ball or bell shape. Okay, you can see it again, pretty darn obvious that there is a circle there. Here's the ejection of energy from the firing. See, it goes down a point and it's very red there. Then here's the firing. You got a puff of smoke and then poof, just goes up. Okay, now check this out. Check this out here. Now in this one you cannot see the roundish area. This is because when I edit the photos this way, when I edit the color and the light, I'm looking at different layers of light in the scene that we're looking at, okay? So in this layer of light that we're looking at, the roundish object that appears to be here, you just can't see it, okay? Now it is cloaked, so that is what you would expect from a cloaked craft. But the reason I wanted to highlight this for you is because look, here's the debris of detritus of the explosion, okay, of the firing of the missile. There it is. You can see it here. It is significantly brighter than this right up here above it. What I'm saying is this is a firing event that we see down here. The firing event did not initiate from down here. Look, there's nothing. Okay, that's the sunrise. There's nothing that shows us a firing event down here in this photo. The firing event was from the sky. I know that's kind of stunning. Okay, now let's check this out. This is amazing. Again, these are slight edits here and there because when I'm looking at this, I'm looking for something specific and I'm adjusting the colors and the light to try to focus in on something specific. Now, what I want to show you once again is this area. Check this out. This is pretty wild. All right. I want to tell you what I'm seeing here. Now, in the other photographs, this area looked completely round. And I want to show you what does it look like here. Okay, do you see that little wing? Okay, it almost, from here, the top of this, I'm going to call it a craft. From the top of this down, it looks, and then it has a little edge down here. This looks like a bell. Okay, I want to bring you back to this post 1479 by Q. Some areas we cannot expand on. Now, in addition, Q also talks about the need for disinformation, okay? So although it appears that Q is saying that this was launched by a submarine, based on the photography and the information that I just showed you, I feel that it was launched from a cloaked craft. This weekend, Q put out a post, 1730, where he or she or they said that a specialized weapons package is what took down the missile. So let's address, are there cloaked craft in our skies? Because that's what I'm saying. It's a cloaked craft. Okay. If you go to my blog and you go to the search bar and you put the word cloaked in, or cloaking technology, I have many articles that I've written on this, and I even have photographs of cloaked craft. These are most likely from the secret space programs or the U.S. Air Force, which has the U.S. Space Command. Here you see a triangle. Okay, here's a trail in the sky and a triangle. So this, in my view, is a cloaked triangle. Now, very interesting. In the past couple of weeks, President Trump has been giving confirmation after confirmation that we have planes you can't see. He literally has said this several times. The most awesome time that he said it was at the White House. He was thanking the CEO of Lockheed Martin and telling her that that she's done a fantastic job and their company's doing a fantastic job. And then he said, "Hey, Fred," that's the CEO of FedEx. "Hey, Fred, she makes a plane you can't see." Okay. Now then he covers his tracks here and says, "It's stealth." I listened to the recording, and you can listen to the recording too. I would not have, this is the official transcript. I would have put a period there. It's stealth F-35. Okay. Is he talking about the same plane here? Because if Fred can't see the plane, it's cloaked. If the radar can't see the plane, it's stealth, okay? So President Trump has been telling us that we have something more technologically, and this is part of what I feel is a special weapons package. So when Q says there was a ship what did Q say? He said there was a hack. Here it is. Okay. Think hack, okay? What I feel is that this Bell UFO, or this advanced technology, was hacked and taken over. So I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to show you that we do have, in my view, we do have unusual and exotic technologies. We have cloaked craft. Here's another triangle. Here's another triangle. See there, that's the cloaking field. I caught that in the sunlight. Now, what I did do was, because I knew I was going to create this video, I created a primer on UFOs, okay? I call all the stuff UFOs. It's unidentified, it's flying, and it's some kind of object. I know that all these fancy names are now being created, UAP and all the rest of it, but I just thought I'd keep it simple. The fact is, in the primer, what I addressed, and I did this for this audience. In my view, most UFOs that are metal are from Earth. They're advanced technologies and exotic technologies that we have, and that's this first primer, that we have that are unknown to the public, okay? I'm trying to keep it brief, but there are many authors who have written on this. The key author for this is Richard Dolan, has done amazing work on this. Part 2, Earth-based UFOs, do we have the technology? You have to remember that corporate elite, and military scientists have had internet technology for 50 years, okay? We have only had the internet, the public, for about 20 years. Also, they have had access to Nikola Tesla's papers and knowledge of advanced physics for at least 75 years. Okay, so I think they've done a little bit more than just upgrade some old World War II technology at this point. The other fascinating thing, I just got to mention this here for you guys, because for me, it's part of the proof President Trump's uncle was the man. He was a scientist and I believe, electrical engineer. Here it is, electrical engineer. This is on Wikipedia. He was the man tasked with reviewing Nikola Tesla's papers immediately after Tesla's death. He was a technical aide to the National Defense Resources Committee. So President Trump, in my view, is aware. He's aware of this, the existence of advanced technologies that we have that are secret. The third part of the primer, I talk about why the UFO area is so important, and I talk about the Space Force. Now, Catherine Austin Fitz of Solaris.com, she has done amazing work on how this whole area has most likely been financed. She is the authority in finance in this area. Her work is completely worth going and reading. The reason that I know that I've seen comments about what we don't want to talk about UFOs and Q, okay? This is why it's important to talk about, and I guess I'm going to be the one to say this. UFOs and the related infrastructure of any secret space programs are real, and they have likely consumed significant resources of the United States of America and have significantly affected our economy. And in my view, Trump's creation of the Space Force, a sixth branch of the U.S. military, is to basically bring these guys in from the cold, okay? Transition what has been deeply secret into the light of day, okay? So that he can start, so that the government and the military can start letting us know that this stuff is available, that they have it, and that they're using it in certain aspects. So let's see and try to think and see if there's anything that's been put out by any official government source, for example, that would show us that we are working on technology or have any technology that is remotely similar to what we are talking about. Or, for example, NASA. Let's take a look at what NASA has had to say recently about what they're working on, and see if it looks remotely similar to anything that we've been talking about today. And do we have more advanced technologies that not everyone is aware of? Maybe not even people who are in those particular industries. Why would we think we might be able to visit another planet more rapidly than might be thought? I'd like to return back to this image for a moment and take one last look at it. Now, what's interesting, looking at this bell shape in the exhaust of the missile, or the afterburn of the missile, Q did leave us the photo of the submarine. We talked about Q's acknowledgement that misdirection is necessary, or disinformation. When I saw that submarine and then I saw the bell shape, it got me thinking about the diving bell. And so I Googled the diving bell and found this image from Wikipedia. This is a photograph of an actual diving bell. Now, it's interesting because it does have a reminiscent shape. But the interesting thing about this bell is that, and my friend Alex, we were talking through this, and she's the one that pointed this out. The diving bell is actually basically the original submarine. Even Alexander the Great, back in like 300 BC, was said to use a diving bell in military maneuvers. So fascinating connection and potential connection here with the submarine image that Q posted. Here's a close-up of the bell because I really want to emphasize this amazing shape that was revealed through slightly editing the lighting in this photo. And what I did was I drew a hand image of what this might look like. Pretty similar, but I wanted to, we can see half of it pretty well here, but I wanted to round out what the other half might look like. I like to do these things. I like to draw ships, so, I thought I'd do that for fun also. Now let's just go through this action of what happened at the Whidbey Island missile incident. So this is what it looks like to me, just in summary. A bell-shaped UFO or drone, some kind of exotic and advanced, cloaked but human technology launches a ballistic missile from the sky. This is the location of the missile launch. It's in the sky from this bell-shaped UFO. This is the discharge from the launch. The missile goes up. So the first stage fires, and then it just takes off and keeps going. We don't see another firing stage in the next 20 seconds. So I've added a proxy for the missile here. So what we're saying is that this bell-shaped craft, now the Trident D5 missile is 44.6 feet long. This craft would have to be large enough to hold that sort of missile and clearly have advanced propulsion based on advanced physics to be sitting up in the air like that. So the missile is within the craft. The top of it opens, right? The top of it opens up. Maybe there's a opening at the bottom for the venting of the launch ignition to vent through here. And then boom, off it goes. Off it goes. And then over here, when it gets up to here, the first stage ignites. To the missile ignites, and then just goes on up. So that's it. That's the story. That's the interesting story that I wanted to share with you today. It's been an honor to be here with you today. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you all. God bless this country, because as Q always says,